ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गता मह्यं ददति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुश्रीयुतपदकमलान् श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललित श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायण नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवतोत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। We are discussing the chapter 13 from fifth canto entitled Further Talks Between King Rahugana and Jadabharat. Did we finish this or we are continuing? Right. I think from verse number 13 or 11. 9, 11, 11, 11. Yes. क्वचित् क्वचित् क्षीणधनस्तु तस्मिन् शय्यासनस्थानविहारहीन याचन्पराद् अप्रतिलब्धकामः पारख्य दृष्टिर्लभते ममानम्. So this is in continuation. So Jada Bharat is instructing King Rahugana about the material world with a very nice allegory, like when one enters into a forest, the experience that he may have with all dangers. Of course, one may go to a forest with a lot of expectations that they can make some raw materials or whatever that they can be used for the family. Happy, successful life. But here it says, Kvachit Kvatik Kshina Dhanaha. Means what is happening? On the forest path of material existence, sometimes a person is without wealth and due to this does not have a proper home, bed, or sitting place, nor proper family enjoyment. He therefore goes to beg money from others. Um, we may see this, what do you call this? Once upon a time, there was this credit taken from um, mm, brokers. Yeah, they're called pawn brokers or something. They take something from us like valuable brass or copper or gold or silver, something like that, ornaments, and until you pay back everything with some interest, they keep all those things with them. And yeah, eventually, when the world of credit cards came, people, rather than feeling careful, yeah, they start thinking, oh, see, now I don't have to go and beg someone, or don't have to, yeah, my face value will still be same, and I don't have to worry at all. So what is happening is, in one way or the other, one is going and begging. Yeah, one is going. Of course, begging is completely showing no worth in repayment, but at least with the credit you show that okay, you have credit, you have what is called shufa, all these kind of things. But in the end, what is happening in a household life, when we don't have money, one starts arranging, yeah, arranging somehow or the other. And he therefore goes to beg money from others, but when his desires are not fulfilled by begging, he wants to borrow or steal the property of others. Is this also not happening? Yes, it also happens. One is trying to find loots. I don't know. You may have seen some kind of showrooms which are called in the name of loot. Uh, I don't know whether the shopkeeper is looting us or whether the customer is looting them. We know very well. Yeah, in a business, um, it's not that shopkeeper goes on, yeah, giving on charity. Yeah, he wants to make more money. So actually, in the name of that, we are being looted. So, and we are thinking we are stealing others, we are begging, I mean, we are borrowing other properties, all these things, but in reality, what's happening? No. Thus, he is insulted in society. This is what happens. When one gets habituated of living on credit basis, eventually one starts making more and more um, disrespectful lifestyle. And disrespectful lifestyle, of course, if we say, hey, come on, everyone is taking credit, so taking credit is not a big problem. In fact, people take pride in taking credit from big, they say, you see, I have 100 people who are ready to give me money. But when the time comes, we can't pay back. Yeah, one gets insulted. It is said that if begging is unsuccessful, he borrows. If he cannot pay, he steals. And when he is caught, he is insulted. This is the law of material existence. No one can live here very honestly, therefore, by trickery, cheating, begging, borrowing, or stealing, one tries to satisfy his senses. Thus, no one in this material world is living peacefully. Anyonya means with one Anyonya. That's why they say this married couple are called Anyonya Dampat. So like a pair of who are very close one to each other. Vitta Vyati Sangha. hmm. So what has happened due to monetary transactions, relationship between very strained become very strained and end in enmity. So one may think, okay, let me give some money. Okay, uh, when are you going to repay? I'll give you back in a month, and that doesn't happen. After a month, after a month. So what happens is the value for this person starts coming down. Oh, okay. See, he can't keep up his word. Yeah, he doesn't understand my situation. I am also. So all these feelings of yeah, enmity comes in. Sometimes the husband and wife walk on the path of material progress, and to maintain their relationship, they work very hard. That means the husband works very hard to bring some money so that he can maintain the family. The wife works very hard so that she can maintain family. Sometimes due to scarcity of money or due to diseased condition, they are embarrassed and almost die. Huh? So Prabhupada mentions in the purport, finally wars are declared between nations, and as a result of these upheavals, there is destruction all over the world and people suffer heavily. This is what is happening even now. Hmm? Similarly, in the marriage relationship, monetary transactions are sometimes overpowered by dangerous conditions of material life. Huh? तां स्थान् विपन्नान् स हि तत्र तत्र विहाय जातं परिगृह्य शार्थ आवर्तते अद्यापि न कश्चित् अत्र वीराध्वन वीराध्वन पारम upayiti yogam. Hmm. He says, Jada Bharat is saying, my dear king, on the forest path of material life, first a person is bereft of his father and mother, and after their death, uh, he becomes attracted to his newly born children. In this way, he wanders on the path of material progress and eventually embarrassed. So, what is happening is we think that humans are social beings. Social means what? To be living together with uh, other humans. The best is, of course, taking care of parents. And what about after that? Hmm? After the parents, then what happens? We are taken. Nonetheless, no one knows how to get out of this even up to the moment of death. This cycle, in the purport, Prabhupada mentions that no one accepts the spiritual processes of knowledge and renunciation which end in bhakti yoga. I think was it day before yesterday? In Bhakti Vriksha, there was the question about what is karma yoga and what is bhakti yoga. Here we says no one accepts the spiritual process of knowledge and renunciation. In karma yoga, yeah, we are only renouncing the fruit of what we are working, not the work itself, which is material work. Hmm. Actually, human life is meant for jnana and vairagya, knowledge and renunciation. Through these, one can attain the platform of devotional service. Unfortunately, people in this age avoid the association of liberated people, sadhu sangha, and continue in the stereotyped way of family life. Thus, they are embraced by exchange of money and sex. मनस्विनो निर्जितदिग्गजेन्द्र ममेति सर्वे भुवि बद्धवैरा मृधे शैरं न तु तद् व्रजन्ति यन्यष्टदण्डो गतवैरो भियाति. So there were and are many political and social heroes. Yeah, just we can see what happened to all these great heroes. Who is remembering them? Alexander the Great was a terror at that time, but yeah, now is he really so much in the minds of everyone? No, only people who read about him and feel great about him may think, oh, he has done a great thing. Of course, yeah, there are so many who have done in the history. There are so many kings who did so many great things. There were and are many political and social heroes who have conquered enemies of equal power. Yet, due to their ignorance in believing that the land is theirs, they fight one another and lay down their lives in the battle. That is what happens. It's very interesting, right? One Kshatriya is fighting and killing others. After some time, some other Kshatriya will come and kill this. Yeah. So, in this way, one hero is killed by another hero in due course of time. Yeah, I was just reading, trying to understand how Afghans came to India, and if you see, or not even that, how there's so much conversions that happened, and when we trace out, we can see how Sikh were. Why are they always in a great passion? Why? Mainly because yeah, if the community or the cult or yeah the people who are really affected by these foreign invasions, we can see it is definitely the people yeah, who are in this Punjab area. Yeah, because there is this Afghans who come, who started. Yeah, they need a way to get in, and yeah, they have very badly mm, affected because they lead a religious life, and the one who were invading were completely ruthless and completely uh, what is the word? They are barbarous. I'm trying uncivilized, barbarous. Um, anyway, so yeah, and what happened? They try to protect. They are not able to keep. They are not able to take up the spiritual path accepted by those in the renounced order. Of course, 26th, yeah, of January is a very important day in Indian history where it's celebrated as Republic. Every patriotic day where all people, all the yeah, marshals, they do march past and then they salute the heroes and all these things. They have so much patriotism to protect the nation, a proper Kshatriya spirit, yeah. But that is not going to save them to get into spiritual world. Yeah, they can go higher planets. Yeah, but not beyond that. So only a devotee. Prabhupada writes in the purport, big political leaders might be able to conquer equally powerful political enemies, but unfortunately, they cannot subdue their strong senses, the enemies that always accompany them. So this is the problem. And sometimes these big leaders take up the guise of a sannyasi and call themselves Mahatmas, but their only business is conquering their political enemies. Of course, we know who is Mahatma. Yeah. that's addressed in India, and yeah, was a yeah politician we can see, and then because they spoil their lives with illusion of this is my land and my family, they cannot progress spiritually and attain liberation from the clutches of Maya. प्रसज्जति क्वापि लता भुजाश्रयस्तद् आश्रया व्यक्त पदद्विजस्पृह क्वचित् कदाचित् धरिचक्रतस्त्रसन् सख्यं विद्धते बककण्ठ sorry बककङ्ख Gradharir, like a crane, hen, and vultures. Being afraid of roaring lions in the forest, he makes friends with cranes, herons, and vultures. What does that mean? Hmm? Sometimes living beings in the forest take shelter of creepers and desire to hear the chirping of the birds, but lions are there, that's why they take support of something else. So, in the purport, Prabhupada mentions, in old age, hmm, however, he sometimes become afraid of imminent death. So lion, the roaring lion, is considered like a death. It is not going to turn back, which is compared to a roaring lion. To save himself from the lion's attack, he takes shelter of some bogus swamis. Have anyone heard cranes? Huh? Cranes also do tapasya. They can stand on one leg for a very long time. They don't even move. If you see on the banks of some uh, rivers or serene lakes, or that's why they say Manasa Sarovar. Yeah, for example, Sarovar is a place where Swamis they do tapasya, right? But we can see also cranes do tapasya, standing on one feet. So that's why in the process of afraid of death, hmm, what people start doing is they'll go to swamis, yogis, incarnations, pretenders, and cheaters. Being thus misled by the illusory energy in this way, he spoils his life. It is said, Harim vina mritim na taranti. No one can be saved from the imminent danger of death without taking shelter of Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Hari indicates the lion as well as the Supreme Lord. Hmm? To be saved from the hands of Hari, the lion of death, one must take shelter of the Supreme Hari, the Lord. People with poor fund of knowledge take shelter of non devotee cheaters and pretenders in order to be saved from the clutches of death. In the forest of the material world, living entity first of all wants to be very happy by taking shelter of creeper like arms of his wife and hearing chirping sounds, her sweet voice. Later, he sometimes takes shelter of so called gurus, sadhus, who are like cranes, herons, vultures. Thus, he is cheated both ways by taking shelter of the by not taking shelter of the Supreme Lord. तैर् वंचितो हंसकुलं समाविशन् अरोचयन् शील उपैति वा नरान् तज्जातिरासेन सुनिवृत्तेन्द्रियः परस्परो द्वीक्षण विश्रमातवि विश्रमातवदः वादहि. It says that being cheated by them, hmm, the living entity in the forest tries to give up the association of these so called yogis, swamis, and incarnations and come to the association of real devotees. But due to misfortune, he cannot follow the instruction of spiritual master or advanced devotees. Ah, so what is happening? The so-called spiritualists are compared to monkeys here. Vanaras. Yeah, where is the first line? In the second line. Arochayan Sheelam Upaiti Vanaran. So they are cheated, yeah, which are like debauchees who with no good character. There are sometimes some may come across such kind of people, and in this process one gets cheated. Now the question comes, oh, a person is very sincere, he is very innocent, and is it his fault to go and follow someone because he is very simple, he is bola, and how come that he is suffering? It said sometimes a foolish person, yeah, one should understand lack of intelligence is foolishness. It's not innocence. We should be careful. Sometimes a foolish person becomes disgusted with bad association and comes to the association of devotees and brahmanas and take initiation from a spiritual master. As advised by the spiritual master, he tries to follow regulated principles, but due to misfortune, he cannot follow the instructions of the spiritual master. He therefore gives up the company of devotees and goes to the association with simian people, similar people who are simply interested in sex and intoxication. Those who are so-called spiritualists are compared to monkeys. So this is what happens, that one first of all wastes life. We waste life in um, finding those people who favor our material desires. What does this means? Even in bhakti, sometimes what we are attracted is we are attracted to name, fame, wealth, enjoyment, comfort, and we look for such company so that we can get all these things, even in bhakti. So, after being cheated, huh, one comes to senses, oh, no, no, no. I think now I understood I should behave properly like a devotee. Let me follow the rules and regulations. Let me approach my spiritual master. Oh, let me take initiation. And after taking initiation, let me follow him. But because we are so much conditioned, that's why after initiation also, we may still bring the same conditioning in our own sadhana. But and due to which what happens is then we don't see the miracle that others are having. Others are having. What is a miracle? Wow, their spiritual advancement. Yeah, they are progressing very nicely. They are becoming better and better devotee day by day. Why it's not happening? Oh, because of conditioning. He cannot follow the instructions of spiritual master. And then what happens? Yeah, he is out. Outwardly, monkeys sometimes resemble sadhus because they live naked in the forest and pick fruits. But their only desire is to keep many female monkeys and enjoy sex life. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There are some places where the monkeys, yeah, they have even inbuilt born tilak. This naam, yeah, you can see they look like, oh, if they sit, na, for some time one may think, oh, these monkeys are so like, very humble and soft and kind, yeah. Hmm? But they jump from one tree to the other in search of enjoyment. Sometimes so-called spiritual, actually there is a nice word in Sanskrit, they compare this, I'm not finding it here. Sometimes the so-called spiritualists seeking a spiritual life come to associate with Krishna conscious devotees, but they cannot execute the regulated principles or follow the path of spiritual life. Consequently, they leave the association of devotees and go to associate with sense gratificators. Again, they revive their sex and intoxication, and looking at one another's faces, they are thus satisfied. In this way, they pass their lives up to the point of death. Drumeshu ramsyan sutadhara vatsalo vyavaya dino vivasha swabandhane kvachit pramadad girikandare patan vallim grihitva gajabita astitah. Bheet means fear. Gajabhita means fear of elephant. Being afraid of the elephant of death. Astitah remains in that position. So sometimes he falls victim to an incurable disease, which is like falling into a mountain cave, which means sometimes incurable disease. If you fall into a cave, that's like it's almost impossible to come out of it. He becomes afraid of death, which is like elephant in the back of that cave, and he remains stranded, grasping at the twigs and branches of a creeper. So that's the pitiable condition. Atha kathanchit sa vimukta apadah punascha sartham pravishyati arindama. Uh, Ari means enemy. Arindama means the killer of enemies. Uh, Arindama, where is that? अध्वनि अमुस्मिन् अजया निवेशितो ब्रह्मन् जनो ध्यापि न वेद कश्चन. He's saying, oh, killer of enemies. Oh, yeah, Maharaj Rahugan, let us not get trapped in discussing all these useless matters, which is about what? It is all about material suffering. No, you just give up all these things. He says, if the conditioned soul somehow or other gets out of this dangerous position, he again returns to his home to enjoy sex life, for that is the way of attachment. Thus, under the spell of Lord's material energy, he continues to loiter in the forest of material existence. He does not discover his real interest even at the point of death. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnum. Yeah. Om Tadvishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Surya Diviva Chakshuratatam Jagravamsa Samindati. It says those who are spiritually advanced simply look to the lotus feet of Vishnu. One who doesn't do it, yeah, he is yet to become advanced. The conditioned soul, however, not being interested in reviving his relationship with Vishnu, becomes captivated by material activities and remain in everlasting bondage, being misled by so-called leaders. रहुगणत्वम् अपि हि अध्वनोऽस्य संन्यस्तदण्डः कृतभूतमैत्रः असज्जितात्मा हरिसेवया सितं ज्ञानासिम् आदाय तराति पारम. What is the solution? Param, to cross over. What? Uh, Tara, to cross. Ati param. Ati means ultimate. Atipara means ultimate end of spiritual existence. What is the best thing? He's saying, hey, King Rahugan, you are also a victim of external energy, being situated on the path of attraction to material pleasure. So, that you may become an equal friend to all living entities, I now advise you to give up your kingly positions and what is this other word? Danda. Sanyasta danda krita bhuta maitra. Is saying, and the rod by which you punish criminals. Give up attraction to sense objects and take up the sword. Asat jitatma harisevaya sitam. Asat jitatma, whose mind is not attracted to material pleasures. Then what to do? The sword of knowledge sharpened by devotional service. This is the key. What is the power of devotional service? It can cut the knot of our material existence. That's why Jada Bharat is saying, Maharaj, uh, take up to devotional service, only that can cut the bondage forever. Then you will be able to cut the hard knot of illusory energy. And what will happen? Tarati param, cross over, uh, and then reach the spiritual world. Mm. In the purport, Prabhupada mentions, Lord Krishna compares the material world to a tree of illusion from which one must cut oneself free. Na rupam asyeha tatopalabhyate nanto na chadir na cha sampratishta aswatham enam savirudha moolam asanga shastrena dridhena chitva tatah padam tat परिमार्गित परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूय तम एव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यथा प्रवृत्ति पृष्ठा पुराणी. This is in the 15th chapter, 3rd to 4, is mentioning that the real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. Yeah? And the tree is upside down and we don't know how to find the root. Hmm. That's why. And then after saying all these things, Raja, the king is saying, Raja uvacha, aho न जन्माखिल जन्म शोभनम किम जन्मभिस्त्व अपरैर अपि अमुस्मिन् न यदृशी केश यश कृतात्मनां महात्मानं वह प्रचुर समागमः. Hmm. King Raugan said, this birth as a human being is the best of all. Even Even birth among the demigods in heavenly planets is not as glorious as the birth as human, on this earth. What is the use of exalted position of a demigod? In the heavenly planets, due to profuse material comforts, there is no possibility of associating with devotees. This is what is not something wonderful and difficult to understand. It's very easy. As one gets facilities, one starts to depend on the facilities, yeah, in the high aristocratic families, rather than taking shelter of the Lord. Whereas if we see simple people who are not rich, they have more dependency to the Lord. In fact, that's why we see Queen Kunti is praying, give me problems, not comforts. So yeah, in the purport, Prabhupada gives this Satam Prasangan Mamavira Samvido Bhavanti Hit Karna Rasayana Katha Tajjoshanad Asva Apavarga Vartmani Shraddha Ratir Bhaktir Anukramishyati. It is said in the association of pure devotees, discussion of the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Lord is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is freed and his attraction becomes fixed. Then real devotion and devotional service begin. This is what he's saying. So Rahugana is saying, oh, how fortunate is the one who is living on earth rather than even the demigods. It is said, Nahi adbhutam, it's not so wonderful. Nahi adbhutam tvat charanabja, nahi adbhutam tat charanabja renubhir hatam haso bhaktir adokshaje amala. मौहूर्तिकाद यस्य समागमाच्च मे दुष्तर्क मूलो पहतो विवेकः. Uh, it's saying, what is the success? It says, it is not at all wonderful that simply by being covered by the dust of your lotus feet, one immediately attains the platform of pure devotional service to Adhokshaja, which is not available even to great demigods like Brahma. So that is the power of a devotee. The power of devotee is that because he is like always absorbed and connected with the Lord, because of that, just like there is a big magnet, and that magnet to that there is another piece of iron that's stick to it. And if there is one more iron piece, it need not get attracted to this magnet only. Even it can get connected to this iron piece, still it's attracted. So it is said, it's not so. One immediately attains the platform of pure devotional service to Adokshaja, which is not even not available even to great demigods like hmm, Brahma. Hmm. King Rahugana was immediately freed from misgivings of material association. The arguments offered by pure devotees to their disciples are so convincing that even a dull headed disciple is immediately enlightened with spiritual knowledge. That is the secret. And Namo Mahabhyostu Namah Sishubhyo Namo Yuvabhyo Nama Avatu Avatubhyah Avatubhyah ये ब्राह्मणा गाम अवधूत लिंगास चरन्ति तेभ्य शिवम अस्तु राज्ञा. He's saying Namo Mahabhyo. Mahabhyo means a great personality. Yeah. Um, and then Astu Namo Sishubhyo. Uh, maybe unto those great. So now I don't know who is great devotee. He can be appearing as a Paramahamsa. He may be appearing just like a boy. Uh, uh, Ye Brahmana Gam Avadhuta Linga. He could be a Brahmana, a great devotee. In what way he may come, we don't. In what disguise he may come, we don't know. That's why Charanti Tebhya Shivamastu Rajnam. He's saying, by their mercy, may there be good fortune in the royal dynasties that are always offending them. Hmm. Jada is telling usually these kings in the royal dynasty, because they have all access to power because of puffed up. Prabhupada writes, where is that? Being puffed up due to their position, the royal dynasties generally offend these great personalities like Brahmanas. It is said the four Kumaras walked everywhere in the guise of 5-year-old boys. And similarly, there are many Brahmanas known as knowers of Brahman who traverse the globe either as young men, children, or Avadhuta. So, if one offends a great personality, hmm, the Lord does not excuse one. Although the great personalities themselves might not take offense. Maharaj Ambarish was offended by Durvasa, who even approached Lord Vishnu for pardon. Lord Vishnu would not grant him pardon. Therefore, he had to fall down at the lotus feet of Maharaj Ambarish, even though Maharaj Ambarish was a Kshatriya Grihastha. One should be very careful not to offend the lotus feet of Vaishnavas and Brahmanas. श्रीशुक उवाच इति एवम् उत्तरा माता स वै ब्रह्मर्षिसुत सिन्धुपतया आत्मसत्तत्वं विगण्यत परानुभावा परमा कारुणिक तयोपदिश्य रहुगणेन सकरुणम् अभिवन्दितचरण आपूर्णार्णव इव निभृतकरणोन्मि आशयो धरणिम् इमां वचाचार. Finally, Shukadeva Goswami is saying, "Oh son of Mother Uttara, who is that? Parikshit Maharaj. There were some waves of dissatisfaction in the mind of Jadabharat due to being insulted by King Rahugan. But Jadabharat neglected this. In our life, we will come across so many insults. The right attitude is, yeah, until the level we come, where is that we don't take offense, until to the level where we are not yeah, offended, uh, insults should be neglected. Uh, and his heart again became calm and quiet like an ocean. When things come which are, yeah, provoking, better to ignore them. Although King Rahugana had insulted him, he was a great Paramahamsa. See, being a Vaishnava, he was naturally very kind hearted and he therefore told the king about the constitutional position of the soul. The beauty of devotees is if we can open our ears and heart and mind, ears, heart, mind, and of course eyes, yeah, we can understand that um, the devotees play a big role in our life. We can't offend. He then forgot the insult because King Rahugana pitifully begged pardon at his lotus feet. After this, he began to wander all over the earth just as before. In this regard, Prabhupada mentions the verse from third canto where Kapila Muni is saying the qualities of a sadhu. Titikshasva karunika surada sarvadehinam ajata shatrava santa sadhava sadhubhushanam. Huh? Sadhava sadhubhushan. Abhushan. Ornaments. What are the ornaments of a sadhu? Titiksha, tolerance, karunika, kindness, suhrada, friendly, sarvadehinam, towards everyone, ajata shatrava, having no enemies, shanta, being neutral, sadhava, who is following uh, the sadhus in understanding the scriptures. So these are the qualities of a sadhu. A pure devotee has all the qualities of a sadhu. Jada Bharat is an example of this. Due to the material body, his senses were certainly agitated when he was insulted by King Rahugana. But later, due to the king's humble submission, Jada Bharat excused him. It is the duty of everyone desiring to return Godhead to become submissive like King Rahugan and beg pardon of Vaishnavas one may have offended. Vaishnavas are generally very kind hearted. Therefore, if one immediately submits himself at the lotus feet of Vaishnava, one is immediately cleared of offensive reactions. I don't know if Pragati Mataji you've joined. Okay. Yeah. this came up on Sunday, right? We wanted to know how to overcome Vaishnava Aparad. Yeah. If one does not do so, the reactions will remain and the results will not be very palatable. Sauvirapatir api sujana samavagata paramatma satatvam atma atmani avidya dhyaropitam cha dehatmamatim visasarja evam hi nृप bhagavad ashritanubhavaः. After receiving lessons from the great devotee Jadabharat, King Rahugana of the state of Sauvira became completely aware of the constitutional position of the soul. He thus gave up the bodily conceptions completely. My dear king, whoever takes shelter of the servant of the Lord is certainly glorified because he can without difficulty give up the bodily conception. Uh, Prabhupada mentions in the purport the reference of Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Sastrakaya. All the scriptures are saying Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha. Uh, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Lava means very, very a pinch, a moment of Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Yeah, one attains everything. As a result, there are many devotees engaged in this Krishna consciousness movement. Hmm? The whole world is revolving under the bodily conception. Therefore, there must be devotees all over the world to deliver people from the false bodily conception and fully engage them in Krishna consciousness. Raja Uvacha यो ह वा इह बहुविधा महाभागवता द्वयाभिहितः परोक्षेण वचसा जीवलोक भवाब्ध्वत्सः अर्य मनीषया कल्पितविषयो नाञ्जसाव्युत्पन्नलोक समधिगमः अथ तद् एवैतद् दुरवगमं समवेतानुकल्पेन निर्देश्यताम् iti. After hearing to this, King Parikshit is asking Shukadeva Goswami, please tell me what is that understanding about the forest? I could not understand. It is very easy for unintelligent to understand the purport of this. Sorry, it is not very easy to understand the purport of this story of the forest. That whatever King Jadabharat told to Rahugan, because it is difficult to extricate the exact meaning from the allegory. I therefore request Your Holiness to give the direct meaning. Purport. There are many stories and incidents in Srimad Bhagavatam that are described figuratively. Such allegorical descriptions may not be understood by unintelligent men. Therefore, it is the duty of the student to approach a bona fide spiritual master for the direct explanation. So, two things. This means that there are definitely some stories which are, yeah, maybe one could say cooked up stories or made up stories, yeah. But these made up stories are not made up by any ordinary foolish or materialistic or conditioned persons or people. No, they are great. For example, here Jadabharat is giving the example in the case of, mm, in the case of Puranjana. Narad Muni is also giving a big allegory about there is this Puranjan, there is um, Puranjani, there is this gate, nine gates to what is it? To this. So all these things are giving through which one is allegories are definitely there, but it doesn't mean all the stories of Bhagavatam. Everything is just uh, yeah. These are not Panchatantra stories. Yeah, one may say, hey, how can a cat speak? How can a monkey sing? No, no, it is the what is that? It is how can a donkey sing? Yeah, how can a donkey sing? No, this is not like that. Yeah, here we are talking about real stories, and there are also some allegorical stories to help us understand tattva properly, easily. Yes, Hare Krishna. Let me stop here. Let's see if there are someone want to share something, some points or questions.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
First of all, happy Krishna conscious birthday.
Yeah, first of all, we cover the topics which are
Okay,
simple, then we go to the second part.
okay. I just wanted to ask about yesterday we discussed about uh, the material wealth and how it affects spiritual life, and this concept is again and again emphasized in even in the Bible, Jesus, where Jesus says that it's for a rich man to enter heaven. It's easier for a camel to go through the needle than a rich man.
Yeah, yeah, needle hole,
S-
needle fight.
So
Yeah.
I was just wondering, to live in this world, we need to acquire uh, money
Mm-hmm.
through work, and so
Mm-hmm.
how how do we not uh, get the reaction of that acquiring wealth?
Mm-hmm. Can you say also how much wealth is needed?
Is it as much as necessary
And
to
what is
main
that as much as necessary?
to just maintain the family?
And how much is that?
Uh, you need a house, you need a car.
What else? Maybe a drone
um,
to take you your parcel somewhere. I think yeah, we are not that far, right? I think there are
Amazon.
private taxis which can take you from place to place in air. What do you want? Krishna is providing everything what we need, but actually we think we need more than what we really need,
Mm,
isn't it? Yeah. It's a very tricky situation, right? Because our mind is not in a position to accept. Um, for us, we have a bar, we say that this is minimum that we need, right? Yeah, as you
mm,
said, necessities is something that we set a bar. But on what basis, on what factors, and are we coming up is because maybe there is like a real necessity, yeah, one factor. Then there is
mm.
sense of fear. We may call it as protection or defense or whatever, right?
Yes.
And then these are variables and they keep changing. And yeah, of course, we are not saying that, yo, shall we then be very irresponsible of not taking care of families? Yeah, for example. No, I think when we say Yukta Vairagya is something that, yes, we need to work. That is first thing. We don't want to not work. We have to work. There was a time when Swami Vivekananda, at that time it was the same, that the youth was so much thinking, anyway, destiny, anyway, you know what, whatever should happen will happen because the stars are the one who is managing me, the planets are the one who are managing me, the demigods who are managing me, the controlling deities, they are managing me. Where is my own freedom? I am completely controlled, so let me not do anything. Yeah?
Mm,
By not doing anything, that they wanted to become Paramahamsas. Of course, Paramahamsas, they don't do anything, right? Materially, they don't do anything, but spiritually, they do a lot. And one who is not matured, they don't do spiritually, they don't do materially, they don't do anything. That's why Vivekananda was saying, hey, do work properly. Forget about all these things. And then,
mm,
I don't know, why did I bring, yeah, coming back to the needs. The needs are very variable. This is what our understanding is. But Krishna says, and Prabhupada highlights this point very often that what is that we really need? Uh, yeah, this comes in the Ishopanishad where it says Atyahara. Uh, One is interested in they're always accumulating more than one needs. Yeah,
mm.
yeah. So it's very sensitive. I mean, the question is a bit uh, has more question to it, right? Huh?
Yeah.
There's a question inside the question to really know. Okay, that's why I was like going into the question more to really come. Yeah, why? Yeah, there is when we
I
ask
mean,
how.
mm, I mean, one could argue that like a businessman, he creates value in society by, I mean, we are all working and
Mm.
earning because someone decided to,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, set up a company and provide value added
Yeah, yeah,
services.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He want to offer the value to the society because he want to be serving the society. This is what we were discussing. No, in one of the purports, it came about patriotism. Hmm? We want to
Mm.
serve our country. We want to serve our people. We want to serve our family. We want to serve our community. There is nature of services. What are we doing then? Serving the Lord. After all, the community is because of the Lord, right? If Lord wouldn't
Mm.
create everyone, then there is no community, right? It's only you and the Lord. Hmm? Nation, all these countries, who created them? Hmm? Yeah,
Yeah.
we can see how Prithu Maharaj has divided and gave for ruling, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, I'm maybe not on an evening to discuss more deeper, but I think to your question, yes, we are not stopping to work and to maintain family because maintaining family is a responsibility. We should treat it as a responsibility rather than that if we do more, then we get entangled.
Okay.
Hmm? If we do more, then we are entangled. Very simple. Because our mind is always ready. It's just like a, what do you call this? Hmm, loaded gun. Huh? The gun is loaded and ready to, yeah, as soon as you pull the trigger, what will happen? The bullet will zoom, that goes, right?
Mm.
Mind is like that. It's ready. It's just, like, have you seen a Marcidona bull fight?
Yeah. Yes.
The bulls are eagerly waiting to kick whoever may come on the way. Kick them. No mercy. The senses have no mercy. They are the servants of the master, but they don't have mercy to the master.
Mm.
Hmm? So that's why we take to the formula of Yukta Vairagya means we should be smart enough that how to engage ourselves in the work because there cannot be a time where we cannot do anything. Always we keep doing something. So we should do devotional service. So in that matter you will earn 1 million euros, no problem.
Mm.
If you cannot use them for devotional life, devotional service, then 1 million is just yeah, disturbance. Just like if your appetite is poor, right? Old age people, they can't digest everything, right? If they eat something, then they have bloating. If they don't eat anything, they become weak. Yeah, I mean, of course, not only old people, everyone has a, yeah. So, yeah, we have to know, can we digest it? Can we digest the name that comes to us? Can we digest the fame that comes to us? Can we digest the wealth, the money that may come on our way? Can we digest the sense enjoyment? Hmm?
Mm.
One said regulated life in Grihastha. Can we manage that?
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, I interrupted your question. I think you didn't finish it, right?
Um. No, that was it. That was
Mm-hmm.
this. Yeah, I just wanted to know if like they say money is the root of evil, but is it really money or is it the way you use the money? I guess that's.
Okay, if that's the question, yeah, it is not about the money. Money itself is good, just like a knife is good. Yeah. How do you use it? Yeah, depends on that.
Mm.
And wealth in the hands of, yeah, we can see Prabhupada how he used, and wealth in the hands of, yeah, politicians. We know what they do.
Yes.
Yeah. Money in government's hand, you know what it will do. Money in the hands of thieves, and we know what they will do.
Yeah.
So Are we a devotee serving the government? Yeah, serving the Lord means serving, just like a one who is law abiding is serving the government. When you give him money, he will use it for for the well-being of the government, right?
Yes.
Whereas if the money goes into the hands of yeah, one who misuses it, he creates more. Yeah, mafia, weapons.
Yeah.
Mm, it's like that.
Okay,
Yep.
bro. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Other thoughts, questions? Okay. No. Yeah. Then thank you very much, Aditya Prabhu, for your wishes. Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai. पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय गौर प्रेम। हरे कृष्ण।